according to the pie chart, we spend a little over 20, well, we spend 21% on education, so that's about
On what?
Education.
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 Thank you.
And that's about 1/5 of the total budget. Connecticut is the 6th highest spending state in the United States as far as what we pay for education, and yet we're the 23rd lowest as far as results. Now, I understand what you're saying about Board of Education, and it sounds like there's no oversight as to how that money gets spent. I'm not totally convinced that throwing more money at education is gonna solve our problem. If we're trying to cut back money, how can, with this 1/5 chunk, how can we cut money on education and yet assure that our results are a lot better? Do we go out to other states that are more successful with their graduation rates and things and find out what they're doing right, or are we just operating in a vacuum, throwing money and hoping it works?
Well, I would agree with your principal point, and not everybody agrees with me, but I would affirmatively make the statement that there's no evidence that simply throwing more money into the education cost-sharing formula increases the educational results of our kids. If you look at towns and cities that spend the most per pupil, they tend to have lower test scores. Newtown, which I represent, if you look at how much it spends per pupil, tends to fall usually in the bottom quadrant on the state rankings. But the performance of their kids on test scores and where they go to college tends to be in the top quadrant. So there's a perfect example that you don't have to spend more per kid to get a better education. So I think from our perspective, we don't see the result as just giving towns and cities more money in their ECS. There are a lot of other factors that will cost towns to spend money, from binding arbitration and other issues that they deal with on the local level. But I don't think you would see us say the answer is just giving more money into the system.
Yeah, no, I mean, you need to look at what it is you're spending and what you're spending it on, and that's with anything, so it's very good.
And we also have to deal with an almost complete lack of oversight by the legislature and, quite frankly, the executive on the University of Connecticut and the university system.
Yeah. Yes. Amen.
This gentleman right here, I promise will be next.
With the governor's
I'm
budget,
sorry, I didn't know your hand was up. We're just adjusting the camera, I apologize.
if the governor's budget will vote on tomorrow, what's his chances of getting?
I'm not sure, there's 187 legislators. I'm not sure he'd get more than a vote on his budget. In fact, I'm probably telling my secrets, but I would love to be on the Senate floor sometime in the next couple of weeks and offer the governor's budget and see how people voted. Because I think we'd find out right away, nobody would support it.